Welcome back, family travelers. We're so glad you're here. Today's video is all about how things just straight up go wrong on your vacation from the onset.
Happy New Year!
Mwah.
It's officially New Year's. By the time this video comes out, New
That'll
Year's
be like
will
old
have come
news.
and gone.
So we're here in Buenos Aires, and if you didn't watch our last video about the absolute rainout that we got on our first day here, you should go back and do that after this video is over to just add an extra layer of how everything has failed to come to fruition.
None of this trip has gone according to how we planned. Our day started out in the morning. We wanted to do kind of like a food tour where we would just get Olivia used to like some of the different foods here, and we were starting off at a cafe. I believe the oldest cafe here in Buenos Aires, and it's pretty famous, pretty historical. So we get to this cafe, we notice a long line, like pretty long.
That is insane. This is like an hour and a half long wait, which, don't get us wrong, we really, really love checking out cool new places. I'm not spending an hour and a half in line though. That's too much.
Then we went and we kind of just stumbled upon this little bakery. The woman there was so kind, so local, and it was a really great experience.
Right? It was super interesting.
We're here at this random bakery that we found on the street. They have, I think it's called alfajores. It's basically a little cookie with dulce de leche inside. Super traditional. They eat it all over Argentina. How is it?
What is that?
I think the one she has is kind of the traditional one, but they also recommended that we try this chocolate one. It's like the chocolate version. So I think there's dulce de leche inside this too, but very good. Instead of going to the traditional cafe, waiting an hour and a half in line, which I'm sure would have been a fantastic experience without the line, we decided to just get some carry-out foods, and then we just found a little park nearby, and we came and we're having like a little picnic in this little park with a playground. And Olivia's happy, we're happy of course. So if your plans don't go as you hoped, get some carry out and go find a playground.
That was worth the walk. This is like cute little bakery. It's so like old school. She tried to like use this app to help me pay, but I was like, I don't even know what you're doing right now. You're just like pointing to your phone.
Try this one. Is it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like that one?
It tastes like a Hot Pocket, right? A good Hot Pocket.
It's onion and cheese, right? This is like a blue cheese filled one. It's kind of a mix between like garlic bread with like a blue cheese mixture, and it's amazing. And these things are really like not expensive at all. They were what, like 45 Argentinian pesos, which
Like 75 cents?
like, yeah, less than $1 for each one of these. This is like a great lunch option here.
But after we had our picnic, we went to La Boca neighborhood, which is a, how do you describe this nicely? It is a very trendy neighborhood, but it's
Yeah.
very, very up and coming.
So there's this one area of it that appears to be a little bit more touristic. It has markets and restaurants, just a lot of people there, and very colorful, very cool and unique. But if you kind of venture out of this little bubble,
Oh boy.
it's a little bit rougher around the edges, I would say.
So if you're in one of these neighborhoods what we always do, and this kind of, is all of our travels. We always try to find that restaurant that looks like it's very local, very like, they don't post the big menus out front, but these like little local ones always have the best food. So the one that we ended up going to was this dude out on the street grilling a bunch of sausages. We traded money and he had just a wad of cash in a fanny pack. It was
just the best.
There were like 5 police officers right after us.
So if a police officer is going there, it's the real deal.
Le ponemos chimichurri, criolla, picante.
Sí.
Este es picante, spicy.
Poquito más.
Ay, quiero que coman harto.
It's a mustard with a nice chimichurri. Traditional chorizo. Just trying to figure out if it's too spicy for Olivia. I don't think it is. It tastes good though. Darn fine sausage.
Do you like it, Olivia?
Yeah.
Did you like the sausage or no? Oh, so there was like a sauce on the sausage. I think like parts of it were a little bit spicier than others, so she liked it as long as it didn't have that spicy sauce on it, which is fair, right? We didn't feel the most comfortable with kids.
I'm not saying not to take the kids. I think it was still a cool thing to do with them. It's the only place I've ever felt kind of, not uncomfortable, but like having to be really, really on guard, especially, we have like our nice camera that we're vlogging with. So like, if you're gonna go, make sure that, you're taking the bare minimums, not flashing around like, your phone or iPad or anything like that.
And I mean, that's any big city,
yeah.
But here especially, I think we've just noticed it a little more than other places. Mm-hmm. And, that's something just in the interest of being totally open about our travels. We haven't experienced too many other places, and we did do research on this area, and all the articles that I looked at said, go during the day, probably avoid it around night, but it's totally fine during the day. So
yeah, and it was. Nothing happened. We went there knowing the risk. So I would highly advise you to go. I mean, 10 of 10, I would go back again.
We've been using Ubers the entire time that we've been here, and they've all been super great, super affordable.
Mm-hmm.
I lost cell reception.
And so did I.
And so did Nick.
None.
And if you don't have any cell reception or a place that has Wi-Fi, you can't order an Uber. It was sort of like this time where we were in panic mode. Well, more so me than him. But
not to panic, not to panic.
I was like, are we ever gonna leave this place? There was these lines of taxis. So we went to a restaurant and they were like, probably I wouldn't order an Uber here. And when the local tells you that, you listen.
He literally told me, don't order an Uber here because Uber drivers fight with taxi drivers. And like Uber drivers will literally make their passengers like duck down so they don't get seen, which I ain't trying to be part of that.
If someone tells you take a taxi, you take a taxi.
Right.
So that's what we did. Around, I think it was 5-ish p.m., just the city shut down completely. Nothing. I mean, like, it is like a ghost town.
It was crazy. In this instance, since we came on a holiday, who knew that Buenos Aires shuts down on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day?
In the US, people go out, things are open, there's lots to do. So we just, I guess, made the incorrect assumption that it would be similar here.
Who knew that on New Year's Eve, literally everything closes? Everything. It's 8:15, and we're about to go into a gas station restaurant because nothing is open. Welcome to the first annual Stretchberry Family Hunger Games. We got our most expensive meal today for dinner. It's from a Fuji or Full or I don't know the name of the place. Got some burgers and some sandwiches for tomorrow because I'm told nothing's open in the morning either, so got to be prepared for all contingencies. By far the most expensive meal of our trip. and not even close.
And it's like the equivalent of like McDonald's.
Happy New Year!
We lived in Texas, and there was this place called Rudy's, and it was in a gas station, and it was
Okay.
barbecue, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know, sometimes gas station food.
It's great. This was not,
This was not one of those times.
but it was food in our bellies for New Year's Eve.
All right, try it out. Tell us how it is. This is your New Year's Eve dinner.
This is good.
It's good. You gonna do a dance? It's so good.
A whoopie day.
New Year's dinner is served.
Ooh, look at that.
Check out that spread, guys. Come
Look at
on.
that. We're rolling into New Year, and
This is probably the classiest New Year's dinner we've ever had.
Happy New Year's.
Can you tell everybody thank you for watching this past year, all of our videos?
Thank you for watching all the videos. We hope you like them.
We hope you like them, yes.
Hey.
Oh, you want to choose the camera.
so that was our day. We had no idea that everything was closing, that nothing was going to be open and available to us. And, you know, we probably should have known that if we had more time to prepare, but, you know, that's just kind of for us, a cost of doing business. So if we could offer you our biggest takeaway, it's to at least have a decent idea of what goes on during holidays if you travel over holidays. Just be flexible. You can always have fun. We had a great time. Thanks for joining us on our journey today. It was certainly an adventure.
Stay tuned for tomorrow, next week, because we're going to show you what happens when things do go right.
Right?
Have a good attitude, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll show you what you can do after your day is ruined and go back and pick up the pieces and still have a great
kind of
time.
like recovery period.
Have a good night and Happy New Year's.